Once upon a time, in a world not so different from our own, lived a golden retriever named Buddy. Buddy wasn't just any dog. He had a heart full of courage and a nose for adventure. And his best friend, none other than the legendary race car Lightning McQueen. But this isn't the Lightning McQueen you know from the Piston Cup. No, this Lightning McQueen had undergone a rather fishy transformation. One sunny morning, Buddy trotted out of his doghouse, tail wagging, ready for a game of fetch. But instead of his favorite tennis ball, he found Lightning McQueen parked on the lawn, looking different. His sleek red paint was now a shimmering, steely grey. His wheels were gone, replaced by fins. And where his friendly smile usually was, there was now a row of very pointy teeth. A huge dorsal fin stuck out from his roof. He had become Shark McQueen. Kochow Shark McQueen gurgled bubbles popping from his exhaust pipe, which now looked more like a gill. Buddy tilted his head, letting out a confused woof. This was new. Usually, their adventures involved racing down country roads or exploring the woods behind Radiator Springs. This was aquatic. Shark McQueen wiggled his new tail fin, splashing water from a puddle onto Buddy's nose. He seemed excited. An arrow-shaped sign, seemingly appearing out of nowhere, pointed towards the old abandoned quarry, now filled with crystal-clear water. The sign read, "Sunken Treasure of the Soggy Bottom." Buddy's ears perked up. Treasure, adventure. His best friend might be a shark car, but the spirit of exploration was the same. With a determined bark, Buddy bounded forward, and Shark McQueen slithered and flopped along behind him, surprisingly agile on land for a car-shark hybrid. They arrived at the quarry, its deep blue water sparkling under the sun. Shark McQueen, now in his element, dove in with a mighty splash. Sploosh, he zipped and zoomed beneath the surface, a red and grey blur of pure speed. Buddy, not one to be left out, found an old wooden raft and doggy-paddled his way into the center of the lake, his tail acting as a furry rudder. Down below, Shark McQueen used his powerful headlights to scan the quarry floor. He navigated through tangles of seaweed and ancient, discarded tires. He even said a bubbly howdy to a family of bewildered-looking turtles. Finally, his lights landed on it. A large, barnacle-encrusted chest, half buried in the sand. The sunken treasure of the soggy bottom. But there was a problem. It was too heavy for him to lift alone. He surfaced, chattering his teeth in a way that Buddy understood meant "I found it, but I need help." Buddy, ever the clever pup, had an idea. He paddled the raft over to a thick vine hanging from an old oak tree by the water's edge. He grabbed the end of the vine in his mouth and, with a mighty leap, tossed it towards his friend. Shark McQueen caught the vine with his teeth. Working together, they created a makeshift pulley system. Buddy pulled from the raft, and Shark McQueen pulled from below. With a great groan and a cloud of sand, the chest began to rise from the quarry floor. Heave-ho, slowly but surely, they hauled it onto the raft. It was a struggle, but they were a team. With the treasure secured, they paddled back to shore. Buddy hopped off, shaking water from his golden fur, and with one final, mighty tug, they pulled the chest onto the grass. What could be inside? Gold, jewels, a lifetime supply of squeaky toys. Buddy used his paws to pry open the rusty latch. Creak. The lid swung open. Inside, nestled on a bed of velvet, was not gold, not jewels, but something far, far stranger. There was a pair of sleek black sunglasses, a tiny top hat, a record player, and a single vinyl record. The label on the record simply had a picture of 4 dancing figures carrying a coffin. Buddy and Shark McQueen looked at each other. This was the weirdest treasure ever. Curiosity got the better of them. Buddy carefully placed the record on the player and nudged the needle with his nose. A funky electronic beat started to fill the air. Dung da da dung dung, da da dung da da dung dung. Something came over them. The rhythm was infectious. Shark McQueen put on the sunglasses, which somehow fit perfectly over his headlights. Buddy donned the tiny top hat, which sat jauntily between his ears. And then they began to dance. Shark McQueen, with his fin-like wheels, shuffled from side to side, his shark tail swishing to the beat. Buddy, on his hind legs, did a little two-step, his paws tapping in perfect time. They lifted the treasure chest between them, hoisting it onto their shoulders, just like the figures on the record. Side to side, forward and back, they moved in perfect sync. A dog and a shark car, doing the coffin dance with a treasure chest in the middle of a field. It was absurd. It was bizarre. It was the most fun they'd had all day. A passing squirrel froze mid-nutbury, its tiny mind completely blown. A flock of birds changed direction mid-flight, unwilling to process what they were seeing. The music played on, and they danced until the sun began to set, casting long, silly shadows across the grass. The treasure wasn't gold or riches, but a moment of pure, unadulterated joy and weirdness. And as the last notes faded, they gently set the chest down, panting and laughing, or, in McQueen's case, gurgling happily. Buddy looked at his friend, the shark car with sunglasses, and knew that no matter what strange transformations or bizarre treasures came their way, their friendship could handle anything. With a final, triumphant woof and a bubbly ka-chow, they began their journey home. Leaving the treasure chest, the record player, and the mystery of the coffin dance behind them, ready for whatever weird adventure tomorrow would bring. Thanks for watching our crazy story. If you enjoyed Buddy and Shark McQueen's wild adventure, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the world's most unlikely duo. See you next time.